Okay, everybody, welcome to this edition of Overreaction Monday. Rich Eisen along with Chris Brockman, most of week number 4 in the books as of this recording. Thanks for watching us on our YouTube channel, close to 1 million subscribers/followers there. If you're listening to us wherever you get your podcasts, of course, we appreciate that as well. Good to see you over there, Christopher. How are you?
Hey, Rich, what's happening, man?
Monday Night Football is yet to be played.
Yes.
Jets and Dolphins and the Bengals and the Broncos. So keep that in your mind's eye as you listen to us overreact or react to certain things.
Absolutely.
And I guess we should start this before somebody blocks it.
No ties.
I mean,
guaranteed no ties.
I mean,
Overreaction
I have
Monday.
not seen a month of football where kicks and extra points and field goals and punts are blocked. I mean, so much has been made about no preseason football 4 times over, right? That they were having fewer preseason games, and thus what Steve Young went on the flagship show last week, and he basically called it September preseason.
I mean, he's
what
right.
we're seeing, right?
He's right.
But I guess special teams has to catch up as well, because it's been pretty brutal on the block teams.
I wonder if there's something too with the low trajectory. All these kickers have such powerful legs, and 50-yarders seem like chip shots now. So
That's true.
There might be something with that. I'm wondering with all the blocks, but
I don't think we're overreacting to that.
no. First time I've ever seen the run back for the 2-point conversion, though. That was cool.
I mean,
in the Cowboys game.
I think Tirico said that it's only happened 15 times or 11 times in the 15 years that it's taken place. Is what he said. It made it 13-2. I turned to Cooper and I'm like, it's
who hit the 2-run shot?
Well, that's what I said. I said it's Brewers 13, Rangers 2. All right, here we go. Overreaction Monday. Hit it.
That was terrible. That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
All right, Christopher, what do we
All
have
right, let's
over
do
there?
it. I want to start with Sunday night because I think this is going to be the discourse on the shows this week. It's time for the NFL to get rid of the tie. We need to have a winner.
I don't think that'll ever happen. Ties have gone on for forever, and we were sitting there watching the game last night, and the defenses were not stopping anybody. Everybody was gassed, and so that's the reason why. And the Packers and the Cowboys, moving on from this Sunday night game, already have a technically shorter week because they walked off the field in Dallas on Sunday night and probably got in buses and around midnight or their cars around midnight, and the Packers didn't get back to Wisconsin probably until daybreak. And at least for them, they have a bye. I mean, Dallas is at the Jets next week, and the Jets have a shorter week than the Cowboys. The reason I'm pointing all this out is you have to at some point say it's still just a regular season game, and I understand every regular season game counts in the National Football League in a way that it does not in other North American sports. So a tie has to be a tie. Now, I think having just a 10-minute overtime period stinks. I think that should be a regular quarters length, 15 minutes long, and that's it. I don't understand how they decided, rightfully, I might add, in ownership, that we should now give another team a shot to tie or match a touchdown that's scored by the team that gets the ball first in overtime. So a touchdown doesn't automatically win it if you score a touchdown first. The other team has to match
for the regular season.
I like that. Right. They just instituted that rule for this year. But they didn't do anything in terms of lengthening the actual amount of time overtime is allotted. I think it should be another full quarter, not another 10 minutes. That said, everyone on defense was gassed. That Micah Parsons rundown of Dak in overtime
kind of saved the game.
Well, I mean, the fact is that Dak was going to score.
Yeah.
And so we don't know the way Green Bay would have administered their time allotted had they had to, definitely knowing they have to score a touchdown in order to win. Well, actually, they knew they had to score a touchdown in order to win, but they had to score a touchdown at least to tie. And then if that happens, we haven't seen this yet. If Green Bay had scored a touchdown, let's just say if Jordan Love when he damn near ran out of time last night.
What was that with the Cowboys clock guy? Like, come on.
What if Jordan Love had scored a touchdown? What if they did, in fact, score? Would you have gone for 2?
I think so.
Now, that's the question.
I was surprised right off the get-go, though, because Green Bay won the toss, right, and chose to go on defense. You didn't stop Dak all night. Why would you put your defense back out there first? Get the ball, score a touchdown, put the pressure on them.
Because you know what you have to get if you possess the ball second, which is why everybody flipped out on Kyle Shanahan for winning the toss in the Super Bowl and handing the ball to Mahomes second, saying, we'll take it first.
Yeah.
And you want to, if you win the toss in overtime under these rules, where a touchdown by the first team that scores it, if they possess it first, doesn't end the game. It's not sudden death at that point in time. Now you have to get the ball second, so you know what you have to get. So you are the ones that potentially are going to be marching down the field in 4-down territory the entire time.
Obviously, I get that. In terms of last night, I just mean defenses were gassed, offenses were cooking.
You're ever going to see a team say, well, my defense was gassed, I need to give them a rest.
Yeah.
No, you are going to basically know what you have to do when you get the ball, so you have the benefit of maybe getting a 4th down snap, as opposed to punting it away and playing defense. So all said, this is an overreaction, but what I would love to see is give us another 5 minutes. Give us another 5 minutes and see what happens. Then you might get people winning the toss and getting the ball first, because you would then potentially get two possessions in this overtime. Right. It would change the dynamic here of what we're seeing in regular season action.
Look, I'm not alone in this thinking, Rich. Last night on Twitter, our friend, Dickie V has my back on this if we want to post his tweet. He is also anti-tie. I'm really disappointed after watching 4 hours of the game and it ends in a tie. The rules committee must come up with the rule that ultimately determines a winner, all caps.
Yeah.
Both teams played great with passion and intensity. The QBs were obviously fantastic.
He wants a winner with a capital W.
I want a winner. It's un-American. Ties are un-American, awesome. Del Tufo. You know what I mean?
That's right. Very good. He agrees. All right. What else you got over there?
All right. Let's continue on Sunday night, because one team, we had great expectations coming in about this team. And after the first 2 weeks, we were crowning them. The Packers are really the so-so team of weeks 3 and 4. They are not the dominant team from weeks 1 and 2.
Well, they aren't the dominant team we saw from weeks 1 and 2. That is correct. But I mean, if you're saying they're not a Super Bowl contender anymore, then I'll push back, and that's an overtime.
I'm saying let's take it down a notch a little bit.
Well, I mean, they're like a hockey team in the last 2 weeks, 0-1-1. They're winless in the last 2 weeks.
A winless streak.
You know what I mean? So that's I get that. The first 2 weeks we were talking about, hey, if you play the Packers, not only are you going to lose, but you're so beat up for the next week that you might continue to lose. I mean, the Commanders lost to the Packers and then lost Jaden Daniels for 2 weeks after that. So, and they're 1-1 in that time, which is a better record than what the Packers are. I'm not discarding the Packers. They have a ton of young players on offense that you don't know whose turn it is to get the football.
Yeah.
I mean, they are very tough to defend, certainly when Josh Jacobs is running as significantly violently as he does. So I'm not concerned about the Packers potentially fulfilling your prophecy.
It's kind of scaring me. What was up with that?
Your prophecy is that they go to the Super Bowl.
That was what I said before the season.
Definitely more concerned about the Ravens going to the Super Bowl to fulfill your prophecy on that one through 4 weeks than I am the Green Bay Packers.
2 minutes.
No, I got you on that. So I'll just say
you're not worried about the Packers.
I am not. The only thing I'm worried about the Packers is what this tie does is it potentially removes a sweep of the Lions off the table, being a tiebreak for them. Now, if they sweep the Lions, you'll figure out that they'll still have a better overall record than the Lions if they go in Thanksgiving and win in Detroit like they have in recent memory. But the tie removes the possibility of having the same record as Detroit and then putting that tiebreaker on the table. That's the problem. Right now, had they won that game on Sunday night, they would wake up this Monday in first place in the NFC North. Right now, they're a half game back. So the tie leaves a mark. It certainly does. But not to the point where I'm concerned about them making the Super Bowl. Although Cooper did ask me how many times a Super Bowl winner had a tie in their regular season mark.
Got to be never.
I immediately reached out to NFL Network Research, and they said it's happened only 3 times.
Wow.
The last time was the 1974 Cowboys. The 69 Packers were the first team to do it. It's only happened 3 times, and it hasn't happened in over 50 years. So,
wow.
Who knows? Move on. Overreaction.
Interesting. Okay. All right. You mentioned the Ravens. Let's talk about it, Rich. Not great in KC, but this is kind of, I'm combining 2 teams here. The AFC North is only getting 1 playoff team, and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It certainly looks that way right now, since we're at the quarter post mark, 4 games in, and the Steelers are 2 up on the Ravens. And the Browns look beatable, to say the least.
Yeah.
And the Bengals, prior to playing on Monday Night Football,
but we don't anticipate them beating the Broncos.
I don't know. I mean, they absolutely could.
Of course they could, but I'm saying we're not anticipating that.
Don't forget, the Cowboys, without CeeDee Lamb and without Micah Parsons, almost took out the Packers after being down 13-0. So let's pump the brakes on. And I know this could once again be a Jake Browning take. That
I'm pulling for the Jake Browning take
that lasts as long as curdled milk. By the way, great horse name, Curdled Milk.
Curdled Milk.
So I'll just push back and call this an overreaction. It's too soon. It is too soon, and the Steelers have no deep passing game of which to speak. None. 0. I mean, again,
they have DK taking it to the house.
I know that, but it's all yards after catch.
Yeah.
If you get a team that is going to, be better than not, and A, not blowing coverages, and B, tackling, the Steelers are in trouble. Certainly, the one thing I will take away from the Steelers win in Dublin that they could potentially hang their hat on is like, this is the way we're moving forward. And I'm not talking about defense, because they have been terrific through the first 4 weeks on defense. And to that tune, I actually have a nice nugget for you on that. And I know you like nuggets.
I do love nuggets, especially in the morning.
I have my nugget package right here from the NFL Network research staff. 6 sacks and 2 takeaways in week 4. They have the most sacks, and it was the most sacks in the game by Pittsburgh in 2 years. They now have multiple takeaways in 3 or 4 games in 2025. Yep. The only time they didn't was just the one they had against the Jets. So they've had 3 straight games in a row like that.
Right.
The one thing, though, I will say that they can potentially hang their hat on is Kenneth Gainwell may have just gained the full-time job there, with all due respect to Jaylen Warren, who's going to be, we assume, back after a bye week.
But even if he's back, that's a great 2-headed monster.
His 134 scrimmage yards are tied for the most by a Steelers player in a game over the last 2 seasons. Career highs in carries, rush yards, a rushing touchdown, and scrimmage yards for Gainwell. He had the best game of his career, when it's just like, hey, Kenneth, you've got a shot to be a starting running back in this league. Let's see what you can do.
Boom,
he showed you what you can do with him. And boy, do they need it. They absolutely need it. It's their first game with just over 275 total yards on offense in a game, or over 75 rush yards in a game. So it was their best balanced game of the year. And if they can continue to do that, they can win this division. Play defense, play balanced football. But if they take on a team that's basically saying, all right, try and beat us deep, and good luck.
But Rodgers is one
not
of the best
even
ever.
attempted, but he's
one of the best
attempting
at dinking and dunking and picking spots. And, he's got a great thing going with DK after the first month.
If Lamar isn't out for a significant period of time, the Ravens absolutely can plant their foot, pivot, and win the division. So at this point, I'll just call this an overreaction. What else you got?
Even with Lamar, too. Lamar's been kind of rough so far this year.
I will basically say to you,
Ravens are still favored to win the division.
I am not counting the Ravens out right now. Okay. I'm just not.
Okay. Let's go to MetLife. Chargers, Giants. We told you to be careful about the Jaxson Dart. He's got moxie, Rich. I like the kid. And he's going to have the Giants sniffing it all season.
Sniffing it, you mean the playoffs?
Sniffing it,
or winning?
No. Around the playoff picture. They're going to be in the hunt.
Well,
sniffing it.
Here's a good news for the Giants. First of all,
even without
that's a massive problem. I mean, it just is.
But it's not like he was doing anything so far.
Yeah, but guess what? You can't discount the fact that if Dart begins to matriculate, and grow and mature and perform, well for a rookie, if not surpass that. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be the top receiver, and the rest of them aren't Malik Neighbors. They just aren't, with all due respect to them. This is a massive hit for them. And the Giants defensively are terrific. And all I kept saying, just give them 3 touchdowns. That's it. Give them 3 touchdowns. You know what Jaxson Dart gave him? 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, that is the formula for the Giants to win. Don't turn it over. 3 offensive touchdowns. Let the defense do the rest. And it worked. And Dart was 100% better than I think a lot of people would give him credit for against a team like the Los Angeles Chargers. I thought it was crazy to start him against the Chargers. Mea culpa. I was absolutely wrong. It was the right move, obviously, for Brian Daboll to take. Can't go to 0-4. They are not 0-4. Jaxson Dart delivered a big-time first drive. As a matter of fact, he joins only one other quarterback to lead the Giants or to lead their team to an 80 or better or longer yard touchdown drive on the first drive in their first career start. So their first career drive in the National Football League in a start of over 80 yards for a touchdown. The only other quarterback to do what Jaxson Dart did was Patrick Mahomes.
How about that?
In his first career start. And as we all know, that happened in a game against the Broncos at the end of the season,
end of the year,
when everyone was backing up their U-Hauls, not against a 3-0 team like the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yep.
And Jaxson Dart is the first rookie quarterback to beat a team at 3-0 or better in his first career start since Phil Simms did it against the 5-0 Buccaneers. And he did it for an 0-3 team on top of it. So Jaxson Dart did extremely well. Cam Scatterbo did extremely well. The defense looks really good. And the best part about it is they now go and take on the winless Saints, so they can be 2-3.
Yep.
And then after that, Jaxson Dart, and this is why I'm putting a pin in this right now.
He's got some juice, man.
Jaxson Dart, if they go to New Orleans and keep the Saints winless, which the Giants, dare I say, should do even without Malik Neighbors. And I'm going to mention this on the flagship show later on as well. Jaxson Dart is going to take the field in MetLife Stadium in front of the whole country on Thursday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles, who, after beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, now go home to take on Denver to potentially go 5-0. The 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles could be strolling into MetLife Stadium to take on the Giants with Saquon Barkley. And Jaxson Dart can take to the field and basically say, not tonight, not now.
That would be awesome.
I'm winning 3 in a row to start my career.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm back to 500 with the Giants overall. I have saved the season, and I have slayed the dragon from down the turnpike. And I've handed the Eagles their first loss of the season.
I love that.
Opportunity is in the ether as you and I are talking right now. So
I'm psyched.
If that happens, then he's got to go to Denver, and then he's got to go to Philly after that. I'm going to call this an overreaction for the moment and say, great first start, Rook. Great first start. But, ...
Okay.
Overreaction for the moment. What else?
Let's go back to Arrowhead.
Yes, sir.
They got their mojo back. The Chiefs are going to win the AFC West.
Dude, what did I say in my higher register on Thursday last week? I nailed it. I said, after that second half performance in MetLife against the Giants,
they needed that.
When they came out of the halftime locker room and marched down the field for a score and started, chunk playing a little bit here down the field, I said, maybe the Chiefs have turned the corner.
Yeah.
And guess who turned the corner? Mahomes and 4 touchdowns, and that defense that battered Lamar Jackson. And now we're wondering if Lamar is significantly hurt.
He's going to sit a week or two.
And so the Chiefs are going to win the AFC West. is a possibility because they're only 1.5 games behind the Los Angeles Chargers right now. They're 2-2. The Chargers are 3-1, thanks to the New York Football Giants, who they beat as well. So I'm going to say this is not an overreaction. You know the way I feel. Their next 2 games, again, are in front of a national television audience. They're taking on 3-1 Jacksonville in Duval on Monday night. You know that place is going to be cooking. And then they have a Sunday night home date with Detroit. And then they're home for Vegas, a Monday nighter against Washington, which looks beatable. I mean, the Falcons just beat them, and I understand it's not Jaden Daniels, and they didn't have Terry McLaurin, and maybe they, a month from now, will start looking more like last year than this year. At Buffalo, I'm telling you guys and ladies out there, I had the Chiefs going 15-2. I don't think they're going to win their last 13 in a row.
I mean, they're not impossible.
But I think they can absolutely win the AFC West. And they could even potentially win the AFC if they beat the Bills and somehow the Bills slip up a couple times.
I think when I watched the Chiefs yesterday, they had the wow back. 37 points, most points for them in over 2 years. They got the deep ball was working. Tyquan Thornton is a legit wide receiver in this offense. Xavier Worthy, you see the type of juice is the word of the day that he brings to that offense. And oh, by the way, Rashee Rice is coming back in a couple weeks. And I think the Chiefs might be back.
Here's the one thing, though, that concerns me. Xavier Worthy led the Chiefs in rush yards. Can we get somebody like Pacheco
anybody.
or Hunt or whatever running the ball with consistency to balance this things out a little bit here? But yes, Xavier Worthy looked spry. He looked good. And Rashee Rice is around the corner. So this is not an overreaction.
Let's stay in the AFC West, Rich. And, man, I feel bad for Pete Carroll and company, the silver and black. It's just, another heartbreaking loss. And, Geno Smith had more turnovers. And I think it might be time. The Raiders should sit Geno.
Not yet.
Let's see Kenny Pickett this week and see what he's got.
Not yet. We're not there yet.
Leads the league in interceptions. He has 7 in 4 games. And it doesn't look good a lot of the times.
Dude, I'm not going to sit here and pound the table for Geno Smith with 7 interceptions and 2 of his last 3 games having 3 or more interceptions. It's a team killer is what it is.
Yeah.
And in many other opportunities or other situations, a coach killer. But I don't think that's going to be the case here in Las Vegas. If he does it again, Pete trusts him for a reason, and he has been trustworthy. He has been. And that offensive line is not great. And I believe Colton Miller got carted off at the end of the game.
Yeah, it looked like a shoulder or something.
I am certainly
at the end
hoping
of
that it's not as significant as a cart off indicates.
Yeah.
And Ashton Genty finally. Okay.
That was a major bright spot to see him go off like that.
And finally popped through and became just the 3rd Raiders rookie since 1970 to have a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown in the same game. The others are named Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen.
Heard of them.
So that's pretty damn good. One more game. Problem is it's in Indianapolis, and you saw with your own 2 eyes on Sunday when you went to the Rams game at SoFi with Cage.
Yep.
Colts are no joke, man. They're a playoff team.
They should have won that game, to be honest.
I mean,
as much as we love the Rams,
Mitchell didn't just flip the ball out of his hands just going into the end zone.
Butterfingers.
Well, not Butterfingers. He tried to celebrate, and he held the ball out, and it slipped out of his hands.
One of the most boneheaded plays.
Well, I mean,
the
crazy thing is Jonathan Taylor did it the year before. And he's as level-headed as they
Mitchell
come.
had a holding penalty on Taylor's long touchdown run. Like, he had a rough Sunday.
He did. So it's a tough assignment. Geno going in there, he's got to play a good game, because after that, Vegas comes home and takes on Tennessee before visiting Arrowhead. You might want to maybe see what's going on with Kenny Pickett. You might. If he has another multiple interception game, you can't blame Pete for saying, let's take a break here.
Yeah.
And Kenny Pickett's dying for an opportunity.
Especially when the Titans, let's be honest, they look like homecoming for teams. So,
oh boy,
maybe get right there and, have Pickett roll the Arrowhead.
This isn't a bad idea, but not yet. Okay. They traded for Geno. He is a captain. He is that guy that Pete trusts.
Yeah.
And but he is competing, which is the Pete phrase. But Kenny Pickett might deserve a shot if the Raiders fall to 1-4. And part of the reason why, or the major reason why, is just Geno keeps turning the ball over. And if he turns the ball over in Indianapolis and that crowd is whipped up in a frenzy, and Daniel Dimes/Diamonds gets it done with Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren.
Oh man, those two guys are just beast. What a 1-2 punch.
They could easily fall to 1-4, and the Colts could easily improve to 4-1, and help solidify that division a bit more. That Jacksonville's right on their heels. Yep. I'll just call this an overreaction at present.
Let's go to the other team that I saw on Sunday. One player in particular. What Puka Nacua is doing so far is, I don't even know if you can put words to it, but I will say this. He's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I don't think that's an argument. You can't argue that.
42 catches in 4 games, 503 yards. He's on a pace for over 2,000 yards, shattering the catch record. He does it in many ways too. It's not just, slants like Michael Thomas, or he can go deep. He's tough. He goes over the middle. He can go down the sideline. He can toe tap. He does it all.
Well, I mean, you could run those screens with him and he can get a first down, even if it's like 3rd and 12.
Yep.
As Tennessee found out, he can run it in on you. You can do a running play on 4th down with Puka Nacua. He blocks as well. It's not just him catching. He makes tough catches over the middle. He's physical. He big, strong. Brother, you know how I feel about him.
Look, Jefferson, Chase, all good. CD when he's 100% healthy. Give me Puka right now.
He's a quarter of the way to a 2,000-yard season. He's got 503 yards right now.
Yep.
And 170 receiving yards. 170 on Sunday. And he was unstoppable, and you knew he was going to get it. And then Devontae Adams catches a touchdown.
Yep. That was a huge one right before the half, too.
No doubt about it. And, Tutu Atwell was the one who caught the game winner. 15 targets, 13 catches. Obviously, Justin Jefferson is terrific. And obviously, Jamar Chase, who we're going to see on Monday Night Football, is terrific. And they're all pros. And they're arguably one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the league. Amon-Ra St. Brown with 2 more receptions for the Lions. I could go on and name a handful of other ones,
of course,
including the injured CD Lamb. But Puka is in that conversation and arguably the best. You cannot argue this. This is not an overreaction at all.
I got Puka, wide receiver 1 right now. He is an absolute beast.
He, by the way, just to show you about how incredible Justin Jefferson is, or was in his first 3 seasons, Puka, with his 13 catches yesterday, is still 98 receptions shy. He needs 98 more catches to tie Justin Jefferson's record for most receptions through the first 3 seasons of a career.
Wow.
That's how great Justin Jefferson has been and still is.
Really good.
But Puka's in the conversation, no doubt.
No doubt.
The Rams need to put aside a 9-figure contract for him.
Yeah, no doubt. For sure.
That's coming.
2 more, Rich, and we'll finish up. Let's go to the other end of the wide receiver conversation.
Yes, sir.
A.J. Brown, what is going on? I think teams need to start calling the Eagles about A.J. Brown because he is not happy in Philadelphia. Only a couple of catches yesterday. Eagles had no completions in the second half against Tampa. He only has 14 catches on the year, 58th in the NFL, 150 yards on 28 targets. After the game, of course, the Eagles win to go 4-0.
Yes.
He posts this on Twitter/X. It's a quote. If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Oh, boy. Not an excerpt from Inner Excellence, I don't believe.
I missed that chapter.
So this is not an overreaction. The teams need to be calling the Eagles about A.J. Brown, except for the fact that implies that the Eagles would be listening. So let's role play this. I'm Howie Roseman.
Okay, great.
You're a team following the Topic Bar's advice.
Yeah.
to call
maybe a
the
certain team in the New England area by chance.
Just go if you want to do this with a New England accent. Does Elliot Wolf have a New England accent? I don't think he does.
He came from Green Bay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So just
okay.
So just
sure.
Any
I'll
other
play
team in the National Football
League. I'll just play it straight.
And then I will play it straight.
Yeah.
As well.
Okay. Right. Hey Howie.
Yeah.
This is GMX.
Hey GMX, how you been?
You know, it's not bad.
How are the kids?
Kids are great. God, man, we're doing basketball right now. It's tough.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
Saturday mornings. It's rough.
I know how it is. It's tough to balance, but you're doing a great job.
Thanks, man. Yeah, you know, how are you guys? You guys are good. Yeah,
I think we're great. I don't know. We're 4-0, but you know, there's a concern here and there, but I think we can tweak it all.
Yeah, sure. You know what? You know, we could use a little help at at the wide receiver spot.
Sure.
AJ Brown possibly available?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you know what GTFOH stands for?
Let me just type that into chat GPT real quick.
Not to work a little blue on you here, since we were at Kelly Green in Philadelphia, but suddenly this is a new phone. Who dis?
Really? No, can't interest you in a first round pick or anything?
Click.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Get out of here. We've been there. We've done it. How many years have we heard the Eagles have a massive passing game problem?
Well, it seems they have a massive passing game problem right now.
How many times have we heard that the Philadelphia Eagles have a massive problem, maybe in the locker room, with their wide receiver and A.J. Brown? How many times have we heard that? Nick Sirianni, as a head coach, including the playoffs in the Philadelphia Eagles organization, a win-loss record of 58-23. He is 7 wins away from tying a certain individual for second most wins in the first 5 seasons in an NFL career, all time, including playoffs. That man's name is Paul Brown. So I'm Howie. I'm like, we're 4-0, defending our title. Okay, we just turned one of the other 3-0 teams in the NFC into a 3-1 team. The other 3-0 team got turned into a 3-1 team by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm the only 4-0 team in the NFC right now. I'm seeing this with A.J. Brown on X, and I may be making a phone call to Nick to just say, what's going on? Or not even calling Nick Sirianni. You got this, Nick. You know what? Figure it out. They couldn't do anything on offense in the first half against the Rams, and then threw it all over the yard with A.J. Brown in the second half to win it. They throw it all over the place in the first half against the Bucs, complete 0 passes in the second half.
0 for 8.
And still win it. I'm looking at the standings and seeing nothing but a 4 under the W. They are not trading A.J. Brown. Teams can call. Fine. That's not an overreaction the team should call. But if you're implying that the Eagles are listening, total overreaction. What else you got over there to finish up?
All right, last one. You mentioned them just a minute ago. They did knock off an unbeaten team yesterday.
Yes.
And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a top 8 team in the National Football League.
I don't think you can argue this.
Liam Cohen's got some swag to him, going at Bob Saleh after the game yesterday for implying the legal cheating, whatever.
Yeah, keep my name out of your mouth.
Yeah,
and then he's just like, yeah, we'll just keep that in house, even though I did it in front of the entire house.
And they're doing it without really, Brian Thomas or Travis Hunter being super involved. Neither have a touchdown reception this year. Travis Etienne is balling.
That's because Trevor Lawrence just came up with his first game in 2025 without an interception. The passing game has not been terrific.
It's not been great.
Travis
so far.
Etienne has been superb in this offense.
Yeah.
$124 on the ground with a rushing touchdown. And his first game with over 100 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown since week 17 of 2 years ago. So Travis Etienne is back. And the reason why the Jaguars are doing what they're doing, and they are this way, and you could consider them a top 8 team in the NFL because they are in the AFC, that's for sure, is that they are just the 3rd team in the last 30 seasons with 3 or more takeaways and fewer than 400 total yards allowed in each of the first 4 games of a season. The other 2 teams are the 2002 Eagles that lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, that lost in the NFC Championship in 2002, didn't make the Super Bowl, and the 96 Packers who won it all with Reggie White. They're taking the ball away and not allowing you to matriculate it. They're really good. 9 takeaways and 25 points off of takeaways in the entire 2024 season. So far in 2025, they have 13 takeaways, most in the NFL, and 41 points off them. They already have 4 more takeaways than they had all of last season, with 16 more points coming off them than they had all of last season. That's pretty damn good, man.
And they're not giving up points, too. I think they're 5th or 6th in points allowed so far through 4 games.
And so if you sit here and say, okay, Liam Cohen knows what he's doing on offense, and it's going to take a while for it to be figured out. The defense is carrying the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the offense that he brings does start to percolate and the defense keeps doing what it's doing, or even just a percentage of what they're doing.
Yeah, they turned Brock Purdy over 3 times.
They could win the division. And the Chiefs better watch out for Monday night, because Duval's going to be going nuts on Monday night in front of the whole country. That's going to be a great game. And then the Rams are taking on the Jaguars in London in 3 weeks. I'm calling that game.
Yep.
So we just talked about what Puka's doing and what the Rams are doing and what the Jaguars are doing. Rams at Jaguars could be, who knows? Like
3 really tough games for them coming up before the bye week. But yes,
right.
I hear you.
And the same thing with the Rams as well. So the Rams they're home for Kansas City and then home for Seattle in back-to-back games. Okay. Those are 2 pretty good. Seattle started the week by going 3-1.
Yep.
And then they see the Rams. The Rams have the Niners on a short week, and then they're at the Rams have the Niners on a short week.
Yeah, Thursday night.
And then they're at Baltimore. And so that could be potential good eats for them if it's Cooper Rush. Or Lamar's back, and that's going to be a bruiser for them before going all the way over to London. But definitely don't sleep on the Jaguars. And this is not an overreaction, because when you have a defense that's packed like this, you can't sit there and go, what's Trevor Lawrence doing? Brian Thomas Jr. is not doing anything. Mm-hmm. That's how you're 3-1. Keeping pace with the Indianapolis Colts now.
Good problem to have.
All right. We finished up strong here.
Let's do it.
Thank you for taking in this edition of Overreaction Monday. Next week, Overreaction Monday, a shortened version, will appear on ESPN2 at, 4:30 Eastern. 4:30 Eastern.
Yep.
Every single Monday.
Look at us.
And then you'll have to tune into this edition, whether it's on our YouTube channel or you listen to it wherever you get your podcast for the full version. And then that 4:30 Eastern Overreaction Monday leads into a full 1 hour re-air of our first hour from that Monday's Rich Eisen Show. We have a 90-minute block.
Look at us.
No reason to overreact to that.
Can't stop us.
You can only hope to contain us, as DP would say. For Chris, I'm Rich. Also take in all 3 hours of the Rich Eisen Show every day in podcast form. Same thing, No Contest Wrestling, TJ and O'Shea, with the latest from the world of wrestling. For Chris, I'm Rich. Peace out on this Overreaction Monday. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.